So I believe we're live now. Hello everyone, I am Lonnie here with Kimberly, who has returned.
Hello.
She has returned to Untitled Nerd Network. And we are brought to you by Infinity Flux Comics, Cards, and Games out of Hickson, Tennessee. And, well, I've got to say, welcome back after all this time. You know, we've been having a hard time. We've been having a hard time. Like, I mean, really, we've been so busy, and like we do video game streams every single night, and you know, we've got like a live show that we do at the comic book store every other Wednesday, and then we have these fundraisers. And I'm just like, holy crap! It's hard to find time just for you and I to sit down and have like a little show together. So
yeah, that and work all the time. You don't have a set schedule, so I never know when I can sit down and do this.
Yeah, that was kind of where it started. It was like, you know, it was hard for us to find time off at the same time, and then on top of that, the time off had to be like, you know, at convenient times for a show. But anyway, we are watching the live chat. If anybody comes in and wants to say hello or ask a question or whatever else,
watch the live chat too.
or if they watch and let us know that maybe our sound doesn't sound right or something like that, just let us know, because we don't have a way of keeping an eye on that. And Logan, he wants to be the star of the show. He's God, I don't even know. Like he's left me alone all day. I streamed for like almost 3 hours on the PlayStation, and here he is. So, you know, whatever, Logan.
I hear him purring.
Huh?
Is he purring?
Yes.
I think I can hear it.
I believe you probably can. He's my buddy. Okay, anyway, let's move on to other things. Have you thought about watching the? We do have like something big later, but have you thought about watching? Do you watch like Agents of Shield or like Iron Fist on Netflix or anything like that? Any of the Marvel type shows?
No, I don't watch Agents of Shield. My dad, he watches all of that, but I never really got into it, even though I like all of the Marvel stuff. I just never really get into the show.
Yeah, the only reason I was asking is because I was looking on comicbookresources.com. Oh, Amber popped into the chat to say hello and said the sound sounded a little off to begin with, but it sounds good now.
Yay!
So,
hi, Amber.
She must be enjoying a lunch break right now. And she's probably watching Logan, her little buddy. But anyway, the reason I was asking, are you familiar at all with the Inhumans character Lockjaw? He's like a giant dog that can teleport people.
I have heard of it, but I'm not too familiar with it now.
Oh, they had an article on there today. We had somebody who Tay Crayon says hi guys. I'm assuming that a bunch of your people are going to be coming in saying hello today.
I hope so. Hi.
But they were talking about Lockjaw. He doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't speak. Maybe, I guess. But the Inhumans, the way they're set up is they start out as regular people, but they have some kind of underlying like gene that whenever they're exposed to like this mist, it transforms them into an Inhuman. Well, it's not always a positive thing. Sometimes they get turned into something crappy. And everybody always thought that maybe Lockjaw was turned into a giant dog. And they were like, man, that would suck. But anyway, they did like a big article on it and basically said that no, he was actually a dog that was transformed into a superpowered dog by the mist. So I was like, well, whatever. It's like the, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but the Green Lantern, they had like the Red Lanterns. And there was a cat, a cat whose owner was killed by like a mugging or something, and the cat wanted revenge. No, don't be calling me during a live stream. but this cat had actually witnessed his owner getting killed, and he wanted revenge, and so he ends up getting a Red Lantern ring, and he becomes like a superhero cat. I haven't ignored Logan at all, is what Amber says. Yo, you must have ignored Logan. Poor pitiful Logan. Nope. But anyway, I have to ask, what have you been up to these last 6 months or so that we've not had a chance to do anything?
I can't remember did we do a show since Comic-Con when I cosplayed Reina?
I don't think we have.
We haven't done a show this year, have we?
No, I really don't think so. I think we may have done one around Christmas, or I know last time you and I did any kind of show, it was really freaking cold outside.
Yeah, I remember that. Because we were talking about The Walking Dead, I think.
Yep.
So I went to Comic-Con, and we did the L-Sword group. We competed in the competition. We didn't place, but the judges came by and told us that it wasn't because we were bad. You know, they didn't have a group category, so it ended up making it to where when you're judging a person's costume, you're judging off of one person's skills. When you're judging a group, you're judging, off of a bunch of people's skills. So we had my sister, me, and my little siblings do it, and you have so many people's skills going in, and they said that it wasn't that we were bad at it. They just didn't know how to judge it quite because they didn't have a group category, and they were able to go off of specific people's designs rather than a group. Just kind of made it harder for them to judge it. But this year, May was my first time going to MomoCon in Atlanta, and that was a lot of fun. I went as Snow White Supersonico, and I posted a few pictures of that, but I really need to get some prints.
Yeah, very much. You need to get out there and market, Kimberly.
I never can book a photographer because I live so far out from everyone. I have a photo shoot planned for Anime Week in Atlanta in September, so I should have something coming out of that hopefully.
Well, that works. When's Anime Weekend?
It's in September. It's at the end of it. But we're planning on doing a Legend of Zelda cosplay group for the competition.
Because I know we're still looking at maybe making Dragon Con this year. We haven't quite decided yet. But I know myself, Amber's Covers says Kim. Just like that. Kim.
Hi, other Amber.
We're actually going to be hitting the Zombie Pub Crawl in Atlanta the last weekend of this month. I've never been to that. It wasn't my idea, but the Saturday Night Crew, myself, Amber, and Single Sarah are going to be going down to Atlanta for the day. And I don't even know what it is. I've never done a quote-unquote pub crawl. But anyway, since we're talking about cosplay, I want to get to the meat of the show and talk about something we were discussing. I had talked to, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I had talked to a cosplayer that I support wholeheartedly, and a lot of people are coming up with Patreon now, and that seems to be the way that a lot of cosplayers are making money. And this particular cosplayer said they offered what they considered, and that it was quote NSFW, not safe for work photos. And a lot of people, I noticed on her page, a post was put on there that basically said, no, I do not do nude photography, porn, that kind of thing, and that's totally understandable. But it brought up an interesting point to me, as if something is not safe for work, what does that mean? Because I thought that it would have meant nude photography. In the cosplay community, what does not safe for work mean? Because I'm pretty sure there were a lot of guys out there that were like, ooh, not safe for work. Oh, and then they get the wrong idea. And I'm curious as to...
what I would think personally on that is because what not safe for work would, I guess, like, what I picture is like you're at a workplace, you have a desk or, a computer or something. Not safe for work would be something you wouldn't want your boss coming behind, seeing you looking at your computer or having a picture on your desk. So you wouldn't, I could see where just lingerie shots could consider that too be not safe for work, because you wouldn't frame a lingerie shot of yourself or your girlfriend or whatever on your desk. You wouldn't want people to see that too. So I could see how that could also be not safe for work. And I think it just depends on the level of, being comfortable with it. And I think that it could be a level that's different for people. As far as mostly in the cosplay community, I see it as being not full-on nudity. You may have a towel around the girl, who's cosplaying character, or, just a piece of cloth up against the chest or something like that, as far as I've seen. But I haven't delved too far into it. I haven't seen where a bunch of cosplayers just do nudity.
Yeah, and I mean, it happens. There is,
right.
And that's really the thing, is there is a market for that. I mean, you have an entire website, Cosplay Deviants makes their money off of that. And I want to get on here, just out of curiosity, I'm going to Google definition of not safe for work. And this is exactly what Google says. And we all know Google is the almighty answer to everything.
Google says it has to be true. Yes,
has to be true. And they actually pull this from Wikipedia is the main definition. And of course that's not concrete set in stone either.
Right.
Not suitable / safe for work, or NSFW, is an internet slang or shorthand tag used in email, videos, and on interactive discussion areas such as internet forums, blogs, or community websites to mark URLs or hyperlinks which contain nudity, intense sexuality, profanity, or disturbing content which the viewer may not wish to view at work.
See, I kind of wonder if intense sexuality could come off of, being sexually, skimpy dressed, because that could...
Here's another thing. I think not safe for work may mean different things in different areas. Like, not safe for work in Georgia or Alabama, where you and I are, might not be the same not safe for work in, Oregon or California, or a more socially liberal state. You've got some places not safe for work would be two people of the same sex kissing. Really think about that. There's some people who would be offended by that.
It could be a different definition. That would probably be more in the South that would be considered not safe for work. But I don't know that it's not safe for work, and I'll tell you why. The place I happen to work at, in the back break room, we do have little papers that are set on the table, and it tells you what the months are, and we do have Pride Month back there, so I'm pretty sure that would be safe at my work if I happen to be homosexual and I had a picture like that. I'm sure that would be fine there.
Yeah,
my store manager,
at the same time, you work at a national chain.
He'd be fine with it, but yeah.
Yeah, you work at a national, but I'm trying to, I'm really, because in a way, I'm legitimately confused as to, where people are going with that, because I feel like maybe someone offering quote unquote NSFW content should be a little more detailed. And
yeah, you should definitely list in there that this does not include nudity or anything like that. you could say it could be suggestive, but it is not full-on frontal or backside nudity or anything like that.
Like, there's a lot of stuff, like, I've seen. I figure, to me, not safe for work is a violation of Facebook terms of service.
Right.
And I have actually seen people post in groups and things photos that show maybe like the upper inch of like the buttock area, or you know, maybe like some cleavage, or maybe even like a see-through shirt or something. And that's okay, and but like, to be safe, I would say not safe for work equals a violation in terms of service. That's kind of where I'm like, I don't know, because like I'm saying, different people have different definitions. Amber says, let's see, zombie pub crawl. Oh, you get made up like a zombie and hop around to different pubs. They call it a crawl because you drink so much you can't walk. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be like the end of July and I'll end up being sick. Molly says, how is that even cosplay? Which I'm assuming, yeah. I've seen some of Emma Frost X-Men costumes that are probably not safe for work. Oh, and she also said she just found out that she can comment while watching on her phone and is pretty happy about that. And Amber has a very good point. And I don't want to go into too much detail on this, but not safe for work can mean different things, because whenever we did some interviews way back when, some of our people got in some hot water over it and there was no nudity involved there. So it doesn't necessarily have to be nudity. It could just be people dressed up like normal speaking of things that somebody finds offensive. So
that's very true.
Yeah.
So I just think it's different. Like you said, I think the conclusion is it's just different for different people, and it all depends on everybody's level of being comfortable with it. Like, for instance, Jessica Negri, she does a lot of skimpy shots. However, she says she wouldn't do any nudity shots or like softcore porn or anything like that.
Yeah. But she does a lot of stuff that people would look at her and be like, oh, dang, you can't look at that at work. But at the same time...
Exactly, so that's not safe. It's not safe for work, but it's not nudity.
Here's the advice that I give to all of those fellas who are out there looking for cosplayers who do that type of content. I would say, anytime you see somebody offering not safe for work content, contact them directly and make sure that is what you want before you drop $50 to $100 a month on Patreon for something that you're really not sure what it's going to be, because it is open to interpretation.
Yeah, but also make sure that you're respectful when asking them too, because,
yes,
like, I mean, yes, not safe for work would make you think of that, but don't just expect that that's what they're going to do unless they strictly say in there, you know, you're going to see my tits in these, you know, or anything else, unless they specifically say it. Then I personally wouldn't assume that that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, here, that's another thing, is in this day and age, think about that. Like, you, like, I'm sure you can attest to this. You've had negative experiences with men messaging you, unsolicited messages from people that you have no clue who they are. They message you, and usually the first words out of their mouth is, hey, can you send me some photos? Or something. Like, they don't even say hey. It's just like, you know, hey, can I see you naked? Like, that is seriously the way.
It's just like, Becky, let me smash.
Yeah, and it's like, the males of, like, anybody, I'd say anybody. I'm not even going to put an age on it, because I'm 33 years old, and there's people older than me who feel it's okay to just randomly message a woman they've never met, never talked to, anything. with a picture of their own genitals. Hey, check this out. Or, something like that. And we need some kind of a, oh, Amber's got to go. And Amber's covers and Molly are now chatting in the chat. But yeah, I mean, really, men these days, especially online, could really use like some etiquette lessons.
Well, and I'll tell you this, it's not just online, because now usually I find that it's the really old men, but at work a couple of times I've had them hit on me very hard and want to be the only ones up at the counter with me, get upset if other customers come up there because they want to talk to me. And I've told them I have a boyfriend, and they've literally said that doesn't mean anything unless he has papers on you.
Oh, so, holy
yeah.
crap!
I've had one tell me not to gain weight or lose weight because my body was perfect just the way it was, and I'm like, I'm just trying to do my job here. I'm not really trying to get sexualized here. So I mean, it's not just the internet. Even though they're more bold on the internet, I find that it is actually older guys in person.
Looks like we're getting some input from the chat. Hate it when you get those messages. Some messages are just show me your boobs, and it's disgusting. When you're in a relationship, or let's say you're getting to know somebody and things are getting to that comfortable point, okay, that's cool, okay, but people have to realize, like, I'm going to go ahead and say, you could take a random sampling of 1,000 different men who just randomly sent pictures of their junk to women as like a first resort. I'd be willing to wager at least 998 of those were failures.
Right.
I don't really know. I've never heard of that ending well.
I've not either. And a few times it happens to me has like resulted in a block, and quite a few friends, because I'll send screen caps and be like, can you believe this? And then quite a few friends going and trolling them. So
I think what would be funny, like on those Jerry Springer, or like what is it, like Maury, during the commercial break, they're like, have you or a loved one found out that your teenage daughter is doing drugs and prostituting herself? Well, like, we need to do one where like a little commercial pops up. Have you ever given a guy a chance after getting a dick pic? Contact us. And I want to hear a story of a woman.
777-012.
Yeah. Like, I want to get a story where like a woman messages us or gets on Skype with us and is like, you know what? I was just sitting around one night about midnight, and this guy I don't have no clue who he was, just randomly sends me a dick pic, and something just clicked, and I felt a kindred spirit. I'm like, I honestly don't think that has happened. Not with a complete stranger, and it makes me wonder why guys keep doing it.
I have no idea, because I will just add that within my circle of female friends, none of us have ever just been like, wow, I met Mr. Right, or at least made friends with benefit this way, It's like, you don't even get the friends with benefits like level there,
Let's see. Oh, she said asshole. It's just, sorry, I mean the dude talking to Kim at work, not you guys. And then Molly says, I haven't got asked for anything, but I've gotten messages of other people sending pictures. Wait, what is that? She's going to have to further explain that.
I guess just people sending inappropriate pictures to her, but yeah, I actually had one dude message me one time, and he said, hey, you're pretty cute, but I haven't seen much of your body. Will you send me pictures? And I told him, I said no. And I was actually really polite to him, even though all the other girls were like, you should have torn into him. But I said, no, thank you. And he goes, come on, just show me. And I said, no, I respect my body. I'm not just going to show a stranger my body. And he goes, well, fine, you're fat and ugly then anyways, and you're not going to get a man.
Yeah, isn't that...
I'm like, what?
I've seen this. Now, I've seen this probably 24 times, because I follow a ton of female cosplayers, because basically every person we've ever featured on Untitled Nerd Network, I follow, and my personal news feed is just full of cosplay accounts, and just this year alone, I've probably seen 24 times where women have gotten these messages from people. Oh, show me this or show me that, and they screenshot them, of course, and post them on their account to shame the guy, which is super. Do that. And
oh yeah, I've done it before too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen you do it, and I mean, I love that, because that's the only way it's going to stop. Or my personal favorite, hey, whenever the guy's on there shaming you or saying something to you, or sending pictures of his penis, send it to his mother, send it to his girlfriend if he has one, send it to his sister, send it to all of the women, in his life that are on him. Yeah, and be like, hey, look, this is how this guy talks to women. Like, that's like I've actually seen a handful of women just over the past couple of days who have done that. We had, speaking of, we have Becca. She does, let me get her name right, because I don't want to screw up, but we're going to be featuring her. We actually are featuring her right now on the Facebook page. She goes by Bexy Quinn Doll Cosplay, BEXXIQIN or QUINN Doll Cosplay, and she did a plus size Harley from Suicide Squad. And if you recall, last fall,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, as you recall, last fall, we had the deal with Erica, who also known as Bella Sparkles, who basically helped launch our YouTube channel, because we sat down with her and did an interview where somebody had taken a picture of her in that same cosplay and had made a fat shaming meme out of it. Well, it came full circle, and
she's adorable. Oh my God.
Over the past weekend, over the past 3 or 4 days, this lady actually did the same thing, but she made one of those memes where like one half of it says, how do you cosplay Harley Quinn when you're chubby or something like that, and then the other half says like this, and it shows like all the pictures of her looking really good doing it. She posted one of those, and it worked great. Started getting shared like 250 times as of like yesterday. Well, here come the haters, and it almost felt like a coordinated attack, because they suddenly, it was like out of nowhere. It was almost like somebody on a group somewhere said, hey, let's all get together and go hit that post. And people just started pouring in all of a sudden. And, it's the same jokes that you hear every single time somebody has a big viral post that goes, and people making weight jokes, people making stupid, whatever. And, like, God, I'm just freaking tired of it. I mean, I'm tired of it. Because these guys, I don't get. But the point I was trying to make, and I kind of got sidetracked on this, was it's funny how these guys message you and are like, hey, you're beautiful, let me see this or let me see that. And then you say no, or you ignore them, and then suddenly the next thing out of their mouth, oh, you're fat and ugly anyway, I don't want anything to do with you. Okay, well that wasn't the thing 5 minutes ago, so just go the hell on. I really don't.
It's like, you're such a charmer.
Yeah.
It makes me almost want to reply to them and be like, wow, because she spoke to me so negatively, I think I will do what you asked. That's all I ever wanted, was to be treated like turds. That's all a girl ever wants.
Like they
we don't want to be princesses, we want to be wenches.
They think that's going to make you feel horrible when 5 minutes earlier they were just begging to see you naked.
Right.
Molly says they're not after a relationship or any connection with you as a person, only after one thing, and it's pathetic. Honestly,
not at all.
That's a great idea, sending it to their mother. Of course, anybody smart's not going to have their mother on their Facebook page. Unfortunately, she has to head off
No, see,
now.
I actually saw, I don't know if you saw the post, it went around for a while. I can't remember, it was just like a viral share where they were showing a guy talking to this girl, and he literally, the first thing he sent to her was like, I really like you, will you mate with me and have a beautiful child or something? And she told him, she was like, what? No. And he said something like, asked it again, and she's like, dude, you're weird. But then he was like, oh, okay, whatever, do you want to be friends? And she was like, okay, well, I guess, I don't know why she didn't tell him no, but she was like, okay, whatever. And like literally after that, he goes, you want to hang out when I come to wherever state you're at? And she goes, oh, cool, if it's okay with my boyfriend or whatever, we have no friends here. And then that's when he just turned around and he goes, F you, you should seriously die, your boyfriend is so ugly. And she's like, what? And he literally freaked out because she said she was going to have to make sure it was cool with her boyfriend. And I'm like, okay, that kind of seems like he could have raped her or something. I don't know.
I'm kind of halfway
But then,
adjusted.
if you look at his page, he literally talks about how a woman massacre needs to happen because only 50% of men are evil, but 100% of women are evil. And he kept like describing the same thing. He said they're self-absorbed, self-obsessed, and self-centered. I'm like, isn't that the same thing? And that we're really argumentative. So, you know.
I don't get how we got to this point because it seems like these issues, especially, and it's not just the cosplay community, it's society as a whole. These problems have really just spiked over the past 3 to 4 years. Because you never heard of just constant unsolicited penis pictures. You never heard of just, like, remember back, of course, I know you're a bit younger than I am, but way back in the day, before, I was going to say, way back when, like back in the AOL chat room days and stuff, even the people that had photos and things like that on their page, nobody said, hey, let me see you naked, or hey, look at this, that kind of thing. But I really think
my thing about it is they get so offended when you tell them, you're like, well, if you want to see that, you can just Google it because Google has all that stuff. And then that's when they get pissed off because, like, they're already pissed off that you won't show them. And they're like, well, fine, you're fat and ugly anyways. I'm like, well, it's a good thing you got Google. And man, they're like, you're blocked. And I'm like, I've already I like race them to the block button and I'll block them first because it's about honor. They have to be blocked first.
I'll tell you, and there's probably some kind of scientific analysis to this, but I'll guarantee that the reason this is a thing is Tinder, dating apps. You have you have prospects at your fingertips with a swipe. There's like very little effort needed, and I do believe that's like, the same concept of way back when back in the 90s, I had cable. We had something like 27 channels. Okay, that was what I remember when I was a kid. 27, 35 channels, something like that. Hell, I didn't even have MTV or Nickelodeon until I moved to South Carolina for 2 years. But back then, there was typically something on. Now, it's like we have 400 or 500 channels and there's nothing on. That is the case. It's like you have more choice seems to, I guess, make you less satisfied, and you tend to make, like, people like that tend to make stupid decisions because, there's apparently women at your fingertips. And so they feel like every single one of them, they look at them more as merchandise instead of, like a relationship.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, when I was younger, before, because, being a young girl, you really don't have any guys after you unless they're, like, pedophile. But before I was really interested in guys and guys were interested in me, I would always hear women talk about being objectified. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've not been objectified. You know, I haven't really witnessed objectifying. But I tell you, the moment you hit puberty and boys start looking your way, you feel it. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there is tons of things that happen to guys too, because, for instance, at MomoCon, apparently there were women going around groupieing guys to rape them. So that stuff happens too.
Wait, what now?
You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't. This is something I'm probably going to have to look up and talk about. Because MomoCon was only about, what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah, MomoCon was in May, so yeah. Apparently, MomoCon is the more party con out of, like, Anime Week in Atlanta and MomoCon. I guess MomoCon's the more where they're going to do drugs and stuff more than they do at Anime Week in Atlanta, although it happens at both. One of the reasons I know that there were drugs floating around there is because I was walking out of the hotel and I heard someone behind me tell someone else not to mix their LSD with their alcohol because they cancel each other out. And then you walk into tons of pot clouds, so there's a lot of stuff going on there. However, I didn't know that some gentlemen were getting roofied there and waking up in women's room after they had done stuff to them. So, I mean, it happens to men too. And it's not something that needs to be overlooked. However, I noticed, now I've seen messages from creepy women to my guy friends. So it happens there too. I just noticed that it is more men that do it, at least online. Because men, a lot of times wouldn't do it in person unless they're an old person that's from a time where women didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like I can't find anything about it on Google. If you find anything, send it to me, because I really want to cover about this. But see, MomoCon, and I've wanted to go to this for a couple of years, but if you'll recall, 2 years ago when we first started Untitled Nerd Network, one of the first ever shows we did was about MomoCon. There was a big harassment thing where female cosplayers, and there was like one, who was it, Luna? Because that was what was...
Luna Lane or something?
Yeah, Luna, I think it was Luna Lane. Yeah, Luna Laney. But it wasn't just her, it was like... Well, she was the public face, and it was happening to a lot of women that year. And that was when I first noticed problems in the cosplay community.
Now, I will say, because I don't like talking negatively about cosplayers, but I will say that I've heard a lot of people who actually attended that MomoCon said that she wasn't exactly truthful in everything she said. However, whatever happened, I wasn't there, so I don't know the story. It does need to be brought to attention, and if MomoCon is not backing that rule, they need to back the cosplay is not consent and not get on to her like it's her fault that it's happening to her. Because it seemed like, if I remember this event correctly, it didn't seem like they were telling her, they kept telling her to change, and as she was going back to her room, they kept stopping her or something, or is that the different person?
No, this particular thing that I was talking about was just the fact that there was a lot of harassment going on that time. There were guys going up, touching women, brushing up against them, oh, pardon me, that type of thing. And, kind of grabbing them and things like that. And that was a major problem that year. And that was where it really kind of came to light. And it seems... I
had something like that happen at Comic-Con.
Oh, fun.
I wasn't groped, but what had happened was we had a photographer speaking to us. He's actually the photographer that took the picture on my cover photo, where I have the green hair and, it's me and my siblings. Yeah. He was telling us to pay attention to whenever someone has like a camera up like this and they're walking by you.
Yeah.
Or when they have it like lower, because if they're walking by you, they could be trying to film under your skirt. Well, right as he said that, you may know the YouTuber. Have you heard of like Akio Boy or something?
No.
Okay, he does a lot of like the con music videos and stuff. He wears a TV on his head. I'm thinking it was him. However, it was a cosplayer who was wearing like a TV on his head, which is what Akio Boy does. He came up behind me and bumped into me with his camera up in the air, like, right over my cleavage, and took a shot and then like took off. So,
well,
I'm not 100% sure if it was Akio Boy, but I think it was.
This,
but you know that stuff happens.
Yeah, and this has been shared in like several like Dragon Con groups and things like that. They did actually it's wrong, but it's legal. They actually did come out. I think it was like last year sometime, last summer, and Georgia's Supreme Court ruled that it is legal for people to take upskirt photos of women in public, because as long as you don't touch them, it is legal. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, you know, don't go to Dragon Con, don't go to any kind of con, you know, in Georgia where this is allowed, because there was a guy who did it and he was arrested, he was put in jail, he fought the case all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court. Georgia Supreme Court ruled a majority decision that says you're not invading somebody's personal space, they are in public, and as long as you don't touch them, it's not harassment. If you don't talk to them, you don't touch them.
That's horrible.
And they just secretly take a picture up your skirt, down your shirt, whatever, that it is technically legal. Now, they can have policies against that at events and ask you to leave if you do it, but you cannot be arrested for it.
Right.
Now. That's rough.
That's
but
horrible.
It's the
that
law.
That is an invasion of privacy.
Mm-hmm. It's not considered an invasion of privacy because you're out in a public forum.
So I guess it's illegal if they come into my house and take a shot at my skirt?
No. Because that's your private residence. But if you were to walk outside and like go to your Atlanta Walmart, somebody could come up behind you, take a shot up your skirt, and be legal because you're in a public area. Here's the thing. It's legal for me to go outside right now and take a photo of somebody getting into their car because they're in public. But there is no legal differentiation between doing that and taking an upskirt photo. The law needs to be updated, but it hasn't been yet to go in with the times.
Definitely, because, you know, there's a problem with being indecently exposed in public. So it's like, you don't want me to show off my body parts, but someone could take a picture, like what if I wasn't wearing underwear, or, you know, something like that, and then someone takes a picture of that. However, that's okay if they take a picture of that, yet you don't want me to show it to people? Like, that doesn't make sense.
And like I said, there's a big push right now by several groups who are trying to get the laws changed, and for very good reason. But, Amber's covers left. That was a little bit ago. I just forgot to mention
it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how... Now, I don't want to say specifically in the South, but specifically in the South, how the laws, the deck is stacked very much against women. And it's just a headache, you know, because that's why for the last 2 years I've made such a point to feature, like, you know, plus size cosplayers and, you know, women who don't normally get that fair shake that society you know, doesn't offer. And I'm like, you know, hey, let's...
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks,
see, like,
really.
I saw that one post that you made, and someone commented and said something about, you know, people making fun of them because they maybe wanted to see a hot woman instead of a chubby woman. And then I saw where you commented that to you, chubby did equal hot. But I was sitting there thinking, that is so true, though. Just because you have weight to you doesn't mean that you're not a beautiful person. You know, the
public eye, it's horrible. The standards that we have. Like, I have a friend, and she happens to be African American. When she was younger, I mean, and she's an absolutely beautiful girl. When she was younger, she went over to her friend's house, and her mom told her, I don't think her mom was meaning to be racist, but it was very racist what she said. And she told her that she would be the prettiest girl in the school if she were white.
Jeez.
And right, it's like how I know, and bless her heart, she's so sweet. She didn't say anything about it, but I'm like, I don't think she went over to her house after that, but I don't blame her, because my thing is like, why is it, you'd be the prettiest girl if you were white, or, you'd be hot if you weren't fat. It's like, why is there some sort of social, like, I don't know, some sort of standard that not everybody can fit? Because I'm sorry, I have seen very gorgeous ladies of other races and very ugly white women. So, it shouldn't be that.
Here's the thing. This is like Untitled Nerd Network Etiquette 101. As far as being online or talking to somebody. And people always feel the need to offer something negative. The old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And there are times, and I've noticed this a lot in these cosplay posts, where people will act nice, but they'll be like, oh, that's an awesome costume. It's a little off on this one detail, but it's still an awesome costume. Why even mention that?
Right?
Like, why? Because
Or
that
say
detracts from
like,
the entire statement.
Yeah, I was reading a post one time that a cosplayer got upset when someone actually said that their cosplay was the best. I'm just going to use Tracer, for example. It wasn't Tracer, but it'd be like, your cosplay is the best Tracer that I've seen here. And she doesn't like it because it degrades all the other Tracers that were there. They worked hard on it too. You don't have to say that
everything's a competition.
You're the best Tracer I've seen. Right. She's like, don't degrade the other people's work just because you happen to like mine better. I mean, it is a compliment to, hear someone say that you're the best, but not at the expense of putting someone else down. Because what if another Tracer was in the department and could have hurt?
Exactly. I don't know if you're familiar with who Night Mage is. He's done some really good stuff. Spawn, we did an interview with him at Connuga. Great guy. Excellent guy. He actually is actually a police officer up in the Northeast, and he does cosplays at conventions, and all the money that he takes in, he donates to like the local children's charity. And I mean, it's awesome. And he is an amazing cosplayer. He's probably one of like the top 5 male cosplayers in the world.
I've heard of him before.
Yeah, and somebody actually got a hold of like one of his cosplays. I can't remember the character. I think it was Spawn.
I think it was, if you're talking about what I think is Spider-Man.
No, it wasn't Spider-Man. I'm almost positive it was Spawn. And they took his Spawn and then put it against somebody else's and was like, who did it better? And he got on there, he was like, look, I'm flattered that, you guys think I'm good and everything. He's like, but I do not want to be put up against somebody else because,
right.
Why? What does that accomplish? And,
exactly, and that every time someone says that his is better, it's going to hurt the other one, and then every time someone says the other one's better, you may not consciously let it hurt you, but it does chip away at your self-esteem a little bit, whether you realize it or not.
Oh yeah. Well, we are. Was there anything else we were going to talk about? Because we went way over the 30 minutes we were planning.
Yes.
But I don't want to cross an hour.
I'm off today. Yeah, I'm off today, so pretty much after we're done here, I'm just going to go play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and try to progress in the trial.
Was that you that said something about the downloadable content?
Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about... I didn't read... I read it in passing when I first woke up this morning, and I was sitting there like, what? But it seemed like you may have been...
if you want.
Huh?
I said I can explain it if you want.
Well, tell us what happened real quick while I'm looking through here.
Okay, so what had happened is when you get the Master Sword in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you can get it before the downloadable content. However, weapons break in it now. The Master Sword, in quotation, breaks as well. It doesn't physically break, but if you use it too much, you have to wait a recharge time to be able to use it again.
Oh, dear God.
And yes, you have to wait like 10 minutes to be able to use it again. And its hit points are only 35, and that is not the strongest weapon in the game. So the downloadable content that came out, at least the first round, because I think the other round is supposed to come out later this year, you go in and you do the trial for the Master Sword, and when you get to the end of it, apparently it comes out a lot stronger, and I'm hoping that it doesn't have a cooldown time, I'm not sure yet. So anyways, when you go into this trial, all of your weapons, all of your items, everything you've ever got except for heart pieces, everything you ever got, you don't have. So you go in naked and afraid. It's literally that TV show in Zelda.
Cool.
So pretty much any food that you find, because you have to heal yourself with food, it's different. I mean, you can still kind of make potions, but it's different. You cook your food. You can make like meat skewers and stuff. So you go in, no food, no weapon, no anything. You don't have any way to beat these enemies up. You have to grab a tree branch, but a tree branch breaks after like 5 hits. It's really weak. So you have to go in, and as you're fighting these enemies, you take their weapons and you progress on to the next level. So I died the first time. I think I was on the 3rd floor when I died, but that was because I blew myself up with a bomb, because I was running away from blue moblins that were like way too fast for your own good. Blew myself up with a bomb. And I died another time, but I got a strategy going. I killed the stone talus, which is a huge stone giant. I killed him without him even touching me, I get to the 9th floor, and there is a wizrobe, which if you're unfamiliar with what a wizrobe is, it is like a wizard that just like hops around on air and will zap you, They're pains, okay? So there is a move that you can use where you can freeze your enemies like for a second stasis. So freezing this wizrobe, I was shooting him with the arrow, and I got him almost, like if I hit him one more time he was going to die, and then I could progress on to the next floor. He sent out an electric bat, okay? And I killed so many things that were way tougher than this electric bat. But when the electric bat touches you, you drop your weapon. So you go to pick it back up, and it swoops in and touches you again. I swear, I got raped by this electric bat, okay? It killed me, and I was so pissed. Because I was like, out of every tough thing I fought, the electric bat killed me. And, it turns out you have to get to the 12th floor before you can save. Because once you die a floor, you have to start the whole thing over.
Oh.
That's why I was pissed. So it turns out you have to get to the 12th floor before you can save, because this trial has 45 floors, okay? It is ridiculous. And they're not just easy little floors. Apparently, when you do the challenge, it is not for just the casual gamer, because I was reading something about it, which is fine because I play Breath of the Wild. I can do it. It just pissed me off how I was so close to killing the wizrobe and the electric bat killed me.
That's what I read about, was the electric bat. I was like, what the crap? Okay, but I was like half asleep. I didn't. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and kind of sort of wrap. Let's see. Remember, everybody, we have our big Mario Kart fundraiser this coming Saturday. Holy crap, I can't wait for all that. We're going to be silent auctioning Jenny Park's cat prints. We're going to have 13 of those. We are going to be silent auctioning a huge case of 34 glass bottles of beer. That's going to be nice. That's going to start at $10. Different little pet certificates. We're going to be adopting out kittens. $5 kittens, which will come with a spay or neutering, microchip, and all of their vaccines for $5. So
I want a kitten.
I've already got people like, hey, like, could you like maybe get me a kitten? I'll give you the money, and then, you know, whenever because I got to work, and, you know, I'll come by there right after the event and pick the kitten up. And I was like, okay. It's like, y'all gonna have to be sure you want it. But yeah, we've got that fundraiser going on. We're raising money for the Humane Educational Society out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Let's see, our programming this week. We're not going to be programming tonight. I'll probably do a quick live stream right after this, so watch out. I'll probably be playing a little bit of NASCAR. Again, that seems to be my go-to game over the last couple of weeks. We're actually going to be going out enjoying 4th of July festivities tonight, so we're not going to be live streaming then. But tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, myself and Julie will be doing a UNN live broadcast. Let's see. Then Wednesday and Thursday night we're going to be doing nighttime retro game broadcast, and then Friday night we're going to have our good friend Jordan over for a live stream. All day Saturday we're going to live stream the entire fundraiser for the Humane Educational Society. I'm going to be kicking ass and taking names in Super Mario Kart, and people get to. Have you ever seen, what is it, like Dirty Harry, where the criminal pays the guy to beat the crap out of him so he can like try to frame Harry for the beating?
I have no.
Okay, that's what people are going to be doing to me. They're going to be paying me $5 to destroy them in Mario Kart, because everybody thinks that they're going to beat me, and like nobody's going to beat me. But anyway, that's basically all the big programming we have. We're going to go ahead and wrap up, and I will see what else we got. Anything? Nope. Appreciate you coming on, Kimberly. It's always nice to have you back, and we're going to start soon. We're going to have to do some more of these later. So anyway,
definitely.
I'm Lonnie with Untitled Nerd Network, here with Kimberly, and that's it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching.